All right, y'all, welcome back to Sailing Telleroo. We are officially leaving Italy. We've had a great time, but it's time to move on. So let's get on up out of the slip. Y'all come along with us. So I'm gonna start with the port side bow line. Y'all, this sailing passage started like any other usually does. Sean had checked the weather apps that wrongfully showed clear sailing. We went over who was going to do what as we got out of our slip as usual, having no idea what we would soon find ourselves in the middle of, surviving off of little sleep, unable to keep any food down, and in the worst sea conditions and strongest winds we've ever experienced. We would have been thankful to have just one or the other, either strong winds or rough seas, but y'all, it would soon seem as though the sea and the wind were ganging up on us, each throwing punches that we would never forget. We said goodbye to our marina slip neighbors.
All right, we're off. You guys have a good sail today.
Yeah, you too. You too.
Look, same. Yes, hope you guys have a great sail today.
Eased out of the slip. And stopped the boat right before exiting the marina to get bow lines and fenders stowed.
Stop right in here and get all this tied up.
Okay. We worked together to quickly get this job done and then head out to sea. Since we arrived at Marina Riva de Triana, the water rolling inland was pretty rough, and we could see so looking out over the breakwall each day. But we were confident in our sailing plans, since checking the weather apps for our proposed route showed decent conditions. Sean, however, to be completely honest, has never truly trusted those apps, so let's just say what little trust he did have in them has now plummeted to an all-time low.
It's only going to be rough right here by the shore.
All right, come on, Delilah. If you're an adrenaline junkie, a sail like this one would have been for you, because in a matter of hours, we would find ourselves in the heart of chaos. But spoiler alert, we wouldn't just weather the soon-to-come storm, we would survive it. But it will forever hold the title as the wildest ride of our lives. While we do always hope for wind in our sails in order to stay off the motor, the winds a bit later on would blow our minds, as nature's fury was unleashed all around us. This is not just a survival at sea type of story. This was a nautical nightmare. The sea became a monster, and so did the wind. This extreme adventure would keep us on the edge of our cockpit seats. Tears would be shed, and we'd do anything to be in safe harbors again.
Take the wheel so I can get the main sail out. Just going at an angle off the back of that ship and in between the other big one. There's a big old hole.
Okay.
Taking the waves on the quarter instead of directly in, but not to the side.
Okay.
So basically straight ahead.
So just straight, yeah. But until we found ourselves in the turmoil you are soon to see, we sailed somewhat smoothly, past big ships, and we were soon able to get out some sails. Ready?
Yeah.
How much are we doing?
I'll tell you when. Maybe half. Brazil, Brazil,
More?
right there.
I'm gonna tighten.
Yeah, just a smidge. Alright. And then we'll adjust from there. We're gonna adjust this.
We're doing like 5.7. Hey y'all, just checking in. I went down below and just laid flat on my back, and Sean covered things up here, but I've been back up here for a little bit. Sean is going to make some soup down below for us. Soup sounds so good. We've been averaging from 5.5 to 6.5 and sometimes 7 knots. We've gone 45 miles as of now. Just wanted to pop in, give y'all a little update. Things were calm and peaceful for several more hours. The sun was looking mysterious and beautiful all at the same time. Nightfall would soon be upon us, so night watches began. I took the first 4-hour shift until about midnight. We completely blame ourselves for ending up in the storm you're about to see turning up around us. We've mentioned a few times in our videos that the Mediterranean sailing season ended quite a while ago, but we were really wanting to see our second wonder of the world of the year in Italy, the Colosseum. So we pushed our luck and traveled well beyond the typical sailing season for this area. And we take full blame for ending up in unpredictable weather and extreme sea conditions. When Sean got up from his sleep shift, we adjusted the sails and put out the storm sail as the wind increased. For this clip, as the daylight started peeking up, imagine yourself at sea sitting in the cockpit or down below listening to the wind and swaying swiftly through the waves. For a few hours, the wind speeds consistently stayed in the upper 30s and lower 40s, until soon they would reach 50-knot winds.
Our sailing mentor and friend, John Kretschmer, said, "There is something about the ocean's fury that's hard to forget." Y'all, If you cross oceans and cruise the world, you will eventually experience the fury of the sea. And believe me, you won't forget it.
Y'all, when Sean got up around midnight, he didn't go back down to sleep. He instead stayed up the remainder of the night, vigilantly keeping watch over our boat, our sailing configuration, and the sea. Sean hand-steered the boat for hours. I did try to hand-steer myself, but was barely able to keep the boat under control, so Sean continued to hand-steer hour upon hour. Occasionally, a powerful wave would come out of nowhere and hit us broadsided, giving us a shock and a loud boom against the hull.
In the midst of a stormy sea, stay strong, hold tight, and sail on. Overcome fear, and above all, know how to hand steer.
We were somewhat near Porto de Pisa, a marina we had stayed in weeks prior, so we made the decision to try and seek shelter there again, aiming for the marina. The closer we got to what we thought would be safety, that reality became a scary thought. As y'all can see, the conditions getting into the marina were too rough to give it a try. We would likely end up on that rock wall. So Sean turned the boat and we headed back out to sea. He was hand steering for hours more. We fought to gain sea room, to get as far away from the dangers of ending up ashore. But the winds and the waves kept pushing us towards land. We were barely able to go 1 knot per hour against the sea in an attempt to get safely away from the shore, because at this point, we knew that safety was out at sea.
Joshua Slocum wrote, "I once knew a writer who, after saying beautiful things about the sea, passed through a Pacific hurricane, and he became a changed man." Y'all, this was no hurricane, but I guarantee you, once you've held the wheel at the helm for agonizing and at times sheer terrifying hours on end in force 10 gale storm winds, you become a changed man indeed.
Tired, I'm just kind of burnt out. Get this strap, it's get to be in the gym.
Y'all, we're currently hove to. We made it like, I don't know, 10-12 miles offshore, and it is just crazy. We were experiencing earlier like 50 knot wind. We're rolling around, just bobbing around right now. Finally, we decided to hove to. That's the noise that you're hearing, that flap, flap, flap. This has been one of the most rough days that we've had out on the water ever. And just to prove it to you, Sean does not get sick. And today he puked. I did too, but that's a very common occurrence for me, I see. So we just did the heave-to method. We're just bobbing around right now. And I'm just sitting up top. Our autopilot keeps kicking off because it can't keep up with the waves. And the steering is incredibly difficult. I tried for a little while and I just couldn't even do it. It was so hard in this sea state. I'm eating crackers today at 6:30 p.m. I keep feeling like I'm never going to be on land again. Sean only stayed down below for about 2 hours trying to get some sleep while we were hove to, since he had not slept since midnight the night before. When he came back up top, we continued through the storm and attempted to get away from land as far as we could. Winds stayed in the mid-40s throughout the entire night, and we both survived through the storm together in the cockpit all night long before pointing our bow towards La Spezia, Italy. By the time we arrived, the wind was down to around 17 knots. We felt like we had received a beating of a lifetime, and we spent the first day sleeping and trying to recover, though we were both rattled. Land had never been so sweet before in our life. Crossing the Atlantic Ocean earlier this year was a piece of cake compared to what we had just endured. And though we still have not made it to our next destination, at least not the one outside of Italy that we intended to reach, we vowed to one another that when we do get to our next destination, we will not be sailing outside the season anywhere, ever again.